Our very goal in becoming limitless is to build reality where business and identity and emotional well-being and then creativity, wealth, beauty, contribution, and power, they all exist at the same space. Bear in mind what you are creating now in your mind is going to appear in your 3D world, and you will be living that reality. We are creating the memory of the future, and this enables us to expand our possibilities and change our lives in the desired direction. The goal is that the business becomes an extension of your identity. So every business carries the emotional signature of its creator, and so people will feel certainty or confusion or authenticity, pressure or trust or beauty or congruence or creativity, and long before they logically analyze a product or a brand, they will feel it. Today we are having the first lesson, Manifestation X Business, where we are going to talk about identity, vision, and the architecture of expansion. I love to talk about identity overall, and identity is everything that is creating your reality and hence also your business. And we are today in this new wave of awakening and consciousness expanding and realizing that we are able to create lives and businesses that reflects our very essence and our very mission. And this is also the mission of my programs and also my podcasts, where we are reminding you that you are not limited human being trying to have a better life, but your limitless consciousness, and you are pure potential. Our main task is to hold the space for you and enable you to grow and to discover your beliefs that are not serving you and expand them in the way that you are climbing this ladder of beliefs. So even when you have replaced the belief of I'm not enough or my business is never going to work out with I'm having amazing business that is serving millions and I'm making lots of money out of it, you can go the next level and say I'm making money even when I sleep and I'm helping more than millions, whole planet. Let's say I was referring to this climbing the ladder of beliefs. So we will help you to find the limiting beliefs, replace them, and always expand them so that you can even more enjoy your life and your business. So every business we build twice. First, we build it internally, and then we build it physically. And before anything exists in this world, it will exist as an idea, a vision or emotional experience, an identity or a set of assumptions, or just the way how we see our reality. So it's very important to observe how do we see ourselves, how do we feel about ourselves, how do we feel about life. Do we feel it's heavy or it's light? What do we see as possible for us? And in the middle of all of this is actually your emotion and your feeling about it. So this is where we are going to work on. And if you are not feeling content or you're feeling some stiffness in your body, this is something that you have to work on and to replace it with freedom and beautiful states that you actually would love to experience and to live in. And as I said, before anything shows up in this world, it starts imagination in our head. And as an architect, for example, I started to visualize the ideas or concepts of the new buildings. And it would be first kind of unclear image or just also a little bit kind of feeling around it. Then I would draw the sketches, then I would draw the plans, then we will go on the detailed plans, then we will give it to the company that is going to construct it. And finally, after some time, we will see this architectural building standing in front of us, and such a beautiful feeling because you know that it has been created in your mind first and then you see it in the physical world. And this is how we create everything. We create our lives, we create our businesses. and any other profession, designer will feel the atmosphere before the product exists, or an artist, he will emotionally connect to the vision before the audience ever experience it. And so expansion always begins invisible in our minds. And this is not only spiritual philosophy, it is reflected through neuroscience and psychology and design thinking and athletic performance, you will see as well, or just a human behavior. And the mind and the body begin adapting to experiences before physical evidence fully arrives. And that is why it's so important to believe in your vision and persist in your vision until it appears in your reality. Because if you are consistent, if you are sure, if you are staying in the trust, what you're seeing in your mind has to appear in the 3D world. Olympic athletes, you know this as well, they will mentally rehearse performance before competitions. Or elite performers, they will visualize outcomes repeatedly because the imagination influences neural path preparation. And so the inner world shapes perception and emotional state and decisions and the behavior. And then this behavior repeatedly over time creates reality. So today we will explore first the concept of the vibrational match, and then why vision matters, and then why is it important to visualize also your ideal day in detail, and how does the expansion changes decision making, and then also how business becomes an expression of your identity. So the concept of the vibrational match, it is about emotional and energetic coherence. It's when your desires, your identity, your decisions, your emotional state, and the vision begin moving in the same direction, then the life will start to respond differently or accordingly. And when you start to move in this coherence, especially in the new identity, you will then realize that life is responding differently. You will notice different things. You will make then different decisions, and you will tolerate different environments. You will attract different people, and you will create a different level of self-perception. And so this is why two women can possess the same qualities. They can be equally smart, equally intelligent, have maybe the same amount of money to invest, but depending on their emotional state or the signal that they are sending out, they will have completely different results. So for example, one woman, she can continuously reinforce possibility and expansion and self-trust and creativity and openness, and another one will be staying in motion of pressure, comparison, or limitations and doubts and emotional contraction. And so over time, those internal states, they will influence external outcomes. Dr. Joe Dispenza often speaks about emotional memorization. This is the idea that the body becomes familiar with repeated emotional states, and that's completely true. That is why we are actually aiming to change our emotional states around things, around our beliefs, around our businesses, so that we can become a vibrational match with different things, people, and opportunities. And neuroscience refers to this through neural pathway reinforcement. So we have now neural pathways that we have built throughout our lives. And the goal is to release some of these neural pathways and to create a new pathways. And so more a thought pattern or emotional state or behavior is repeated, the more natural it becomes neurologically. And so in other words, your future becomes easier to embody when it stops feeling emotionally foreign. So when you are repeatedly affirming or staying in these different emotional states and start to feel about yourself differently, your business differently, and your outer reality differently, then you will be creating new neural pathways, and this is going to become your emotional base or your new identity. And so why vision matter? It is important to create a vision where we are going. Otherwise, we are going to fall into the pattern of repeating our life. And this is what majority of people is doing, just thinking the same thoughts every day and thinking the same things are possible for them. And so we are recreating the life. But very essence of us as the creators is that we are able to create new realities. And we are going to do this through the vision and repeatedly reinforcing this vision on daily basis. And when we then reinforce it every day, we are creating the memory of the future. And this enables us to expand our possibilities and change our lives in the desired direction. So one of the most important questions that you may ask yourself is what I would genuinely love. And sometimes this appears to be a very hard question because the brain will start to tell you that this is not possible because of that and this is not possible because of that, but you have to actually ignore your subconscious mind because he will just tell you what he already knows. And you will acquire new information only when you start building new pathways, building new identities, staying open for the new opportunities, and reinforce your connection to your intuition, and then allow yourself to receive new information. You shouldn't be asking yourself what seems realistic or what does social media say I should want, or what business model is trending, or what looks impressive externally, or how are the other people like living their lives, or just try to repeat it or replicate it. Yes, you can be inspired from them, but the question is, what would deeply feel aligned for me? So how would I love to live? How would I love to work? How would I love to create? And how would I love to feel while building? Because bear in mind, what you are creating now in your mind is going to appear in your 3D world, and you will be living that reality. So if you are creating from lightness and you're organizing your day so that you also have time for yourself, you will eventually live into reality where you're living this light, expansive life, and you are not burned or in a hustle. Envisioning your ideal day is creating the blueprint of your future life, and it will reveal your values, your desired pace, your emotional priorities, your energetic rhythm, your natural way of creating. And so you can desire whatever it feels aligned for you. For some of you, it might be high stimulation or teams, fast growth, constant movement. But for the others, it may be also intimacy and elegance, spaciousness, depth, artistry, or slower expansion. So neither is wrong or more powerful. It's just the way how you would like to live and create. And the goal is not to imitate somebody. As I was saying, you can have a look what other people are doing so that you can get inspired from it, but you're building your original blueprint, and your only goal is to create a coherent signal to the universe. And your business will become sustainable when it reflects the nervous system and authentic desires of the woman who is creating it. Finally, when you go through this process and you are expanding into your new self, new identity, and you're creating this new coherent signal, you will be then doing completely different decision making. When women begin thinking from expansion instead of limitation, decisions are changed then naturally. So question will become then, what would support me, for example, or what would expand my energy, or what would create more beauty, ease, impact, or freedom, or what kind of environment allows me to thrive, or what type of business structure feels alive to me. And this is where receiving becomes so important. Not only receiving money, but receiving also support and opportunities and visibility and rest and collaboration and leadership, or beauty, elevated experience, and so on. Many extraordinary businesses are not built only through many extraordinary businesses are not built only through force. They are built through clarity and emotional coherence and self-trust and sustained vision. The goal is that the business becomes an extension of your identity. So every business carries the emotional signature of its creator, as people will feel certainty or confusion or authenticity, pressure or trust or beauty or congruence or creativity, and long before they logically analyze a product or a brand, they will feel it. And psychology is explaining this through the thesis that human beings unconsciously absorb emotional states from one another. So your emotional state or the state for which you have created your brand, your business, or your product is having emotional blueprint that other people can sense. And so this is why identity matters in business. And this is not any kind of performance, it's just pure embodiment of who you are. And the business eventually mirrors what feels normal to you, what you believe is available, and what you believe that you deserve, and what you are emotionally available to receive. And so the whole point about creating your business or your new identity into business, it's not becoming somebody else. It's really trying to find out who you really are. What is your mission? What do you feel right for you? How would you love to feel about life and the business? Our very goal in becoming limitless is to build reality where business and identity and emotional well-being and then creativity and then wealth and then beauty and contribution and power, they all exist at the same space. And this is really true expansion. I hope you have loved this episode, and the next time we are going to dive deep. So I trust you are staying safe and you're expanding every day and you're on the way to become limitless. So see you again.